GM, and welcome to Soul Brothers, the finest podcast on Solana. Together with my friend Eno and myself, Simon, where it is our job to throw you into the Solana rabbit hole and show you around in our exciting ecosystem.
Our mission is to take you on the latest and greatest so that you never run out of fun things to talk about. Simon, where are you, man? You were just here.
Yeah, I was just there, yeah. I mean, I don't even know where you are. I suppose you're still in Singapore. I'm just sitting on some terrace on Mykonos in Greece. Literally just, I mean, it was a mess, like I had a flight from Singapore to Dubai, from Dubai to Athens, then Athens to Mykonos, decided to fly to Mykonos, turn around, fly back to Athens, literally at 3 a.m. in the night because weather was too bad. So I woke up from the plane. I was like, oh, nice, I made it after like 18 hours of travel. And I arrived back in Athens and I'm like, fuck my life. And then we didn't know what to do next. So, like, long story short, 6 a.m. I arrived here. I had a 3-hour nap and then I ran up this hill. And now I'm sitting on this random terrace with some amazing Solana people around me, doing Soul Brothers Live with you. That was a short story. Happy to be here.
I mean, bro, to be completely honest with you, I think that I have an insane travel schedule. I think that your travel schedule is even more insane. I don't know how you do what you do. And thank you so much for making it on time to the podcast. Appreciate it, brother.
On time, right? Yeah, the people don't know. If we don't say it, they don't know. Yeah, no, likewise, same to you. Thanks for making it happen after an intense week in Singapore. That's probably not even completely done yet for you. I suppose you're still in town.
Yeah, still in town, and quite frankly, you and I both know this, but for all the Solana builders that have been on the Asia circuit, it's actually been 2 weeks, right? Because we had to do KBW for a week, which was intense, and then we had to do Singapore, and Token 2049 is a completely different animal. Don't get me wrong, KBW is insane, but Token 2049 is a completely different beast. And now you're in Mykonos. Like, are you gonna relax a little bit, maybe just like kind of slow down?
I don't think we can, bro. Like, it's a big month. It's October right now. The markets are pretty hot. There's too much shit going on that we have to cover. Soul Brothers. There's too much shit going on with Solana ID that we're going to ship this month. So I think I just have a huge backlog of things I couldn't get done on the conferences. So I guess it's time to log in. But that's what we're doing here as well for the audience. If you listen to this right now, wherever you are, then get ready to get a full-blown rundown on all the latest and greatest on Solana from the couple past days. And there's a lot, on the agenda right now. We're going to talk about the recent token launch, very recent token launch from DoubleZero. We're going to dive into that together with some updates on the validator network itself that are potentially coming through very soon that we're going to touch on. We have news from some big companies. Phantom has news. Zeus has news. There's a new player on the horizon named KEEL, Solana's capital engine. We're going to dive into that. And Solflare has some really exciting news as well. They are now in the card market, and we're going to tell you guys why we think this is exciting, and also how you can actually get some money just from signing up to a card with Solflare. So all these things are on the agenda, and I know that we both have a pretty packed schedule, and I know that the audience has a really limited attention span. So what do you think about just fucking getting started right away?
Let's get down to business, to the coziest part of the podcast. We are starting with Simon's technical analysis. Take it away, my friend. Well, I think on the stage.
Alrighty, here we go. We are looking at the 1-hour Solana chart right now. We are trading at $230.20 as of today on the 3rd of October. Oh, today is my brother's birthday. Okay, gotta call him. Happy birthday, bro. And Solana is holding up pretty well because what we did is we had a pretty aggressive sell-off, honestly, from the highs of $250 that we saw just 2 weeks ago, not even. And from there, we went straight down to $190, and we pretty much hit exactly the 0.786 fib level right here from this fourth wave that I was tracking basically since the 2nd of August. We did a 1, we did a 2 on my chart right now, according to the Elliott wave theory, and then we did a diagonal to the upside in the 3rd wave, hitting a new high here, at least a new local high, $250. And from there, we went down again in this sharp sell-off in the 4th wave. Now, the question is, since 4th waves are usually a bit confusing, is that it, or are we going to go a bit sideways here? And I think there is definitely potential that we're going to go sideways and not straight up, even though the signs in general right now for the markets are pretty bullish. Q4 is historically a very strong quarter for the year. We've seen it in the past 4-year cycle. 4 years ago, we saw basically, and we can actually see that in the Bitcoin chart if we just head over here and we look at some of the recent pumps here. For example, in what is this? Let's look at 2024. And we're going into August and then October, November, and December, and there were some pretty decent pumps over here in that quarter. And we can trace this back to even 2021, where we again have October, November, and then in December it went already to a sell-off. So it's a lot of people right now. There's a lot of agreement in the markets, especially when it comes to traders, that December could be already a down month and October, November are the up months, right? So at least that's what historical data tells us. The charts could talk a different, same language, honestly, because if we make this fifth wave here to the upside, we can reach $300, we can reach $350, and we can go down from there. And this can happen really quick. Now, in the short term, to finish off this Solana analysis right here, I think right now we're either finding resistance at this yellow trend line here that we broke through and now out of again. And we go up from here, or we're going to break down in a C, A, B, C. That's going to bring us a little bit lower, potentially even than $190. This is not my primary scenario. What I think is that we might bounce around a little bit here in the sideways or go more up. Right now, the momentum is pretty strong in the markets, especially in Bitcoin as well. The momentum is pretty strong. And I think we are close to breaking out, and I would not underestimate the market right now. And I would probably be careful putting high leverage shorts on the map right now. So yeah, that's the sense of the markets as of today.
Yeah, we have been on a roller coaster ride for the last couple of weeks. We dipped all the way down, obviously, to I love my wife, but I have to decline this call. Sorry, honey, buddy. I'm recording the Soul Brothers podcast. So
Hope she's all right.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, up into the.
Hope she doesn't call back again immediately, because then you have
then I got a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously it's been like a pretty crazy.
Yeah, a bit shaky.
Yeah, especially a little bit of fuckery, right, Simon?
I would say so, but it's nothing unusual, right?
Yeah.
Like, again, September, I think we probably said it at the beginning of September that usually September is a down month, and then we started pumping for the first 10 days, but then we went fucking down. So no surprises really, honestly, on the charts. Just a lot of volatility, right? Like a lot of ups and downs. But yeah, I urge people to zoom out a little bit in these times as well and check the overall kind of wave structures here. And it is right now looking that we need to make at least another attempt to the upside in this cycle, which is the fifth wave to the upside. And I also recommend to sometimes look at the liquidation levels. You can check these out, for example, at CoinGlass. There's different platforms where you can see, for example, Sol and BTC liquidation levels, meaning where is a lot of leverage right now in the market and where might the price go to sweep some of that liquidity. And
so at around the 220
example,
level, we're seeing a lot of, what is that? What's the strong yellow bar? Does that mean there's a lot of longs or shorts?
There's a lot of liquidity right now that can be swept. These are longs that are liquidation leveled in this area. So these are shorts up here, and down here they are longs, right? So if the price goes down here, these long traders will be taken out. And if you zoom out a little bit more in the 3-day chart, this changed a little bit the structure. This looks less severe because we have a lot of liquidity in the $200 region, which could technically also be tapped out if there's another attempt to the downside right now. And what is a bit problematic, I think, for bull case, let's see how it looks in the weekly. Yeah, that there's just most liquidity, $11 billion as of this tracking here with CoinGlass, and there's going to be more. That's not even in that data set. Is down here at the $200 level, which is usually, it's normal. There's a lot of resistance at the psychological level. They can grab that liquidity, and to the upside, there's not a lot to be taken out, right? So it can go both ways. Either it goes down, sweeps that liquidity, and goes up, or it just goes up in a straight line to the upside if the bulls really show up right now. But yeah, I think I'd be careful personally. Which is not at all financial advice, but personally, I would look at this market and try to basically accumulate on the way down, without aggressively shorting because we can turn around at every moment.
Yeah, as Simon likes to say, the money doesn't just disappear; it's just changed hands.
Money is not is never away. It is just with someone else.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And trading is the best example for that. Yeah.
So we're going to get started with our
100%.
first piece of news, and it's a pretty major one. Everybody knows that Simon and I love to review Solana improvement documents. They're called SIMDs, and we have a new SIMD, Simon. It's called SIMD 290, and it's quite simple. It's an amendment to the fee payer constraint. So the fee payer constraint. Oh, is that Quicks? Hey! What's good, brother? brother. So the fee pair constraint.
I was just scrolling through Twitter and I saw Eno and I was like, "No way, Simon's with him." And I checked the background and I said, "Dude, I need to find him right now, bro." First of all, no props to you. I want to talk to Eno. Yo, you crushed it emceeing in Singapore, dude. I saw all the content, man. You're a
no.
We
No. Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
We're recording.
Oh, it's fine. Love you, Quicks.
The podcast I keep getting paid for.
He says love you, Quicks. So yeah, that was Sorgis from Solflare. Quick intruder here for the recording. But
Can you
Quicks. Back to the topic?
Wait. No.
0 2
Pause
9,
right there.
please.
Like,
Go ahead.
can you believe that we get to you get just hang out with Quicks? Like that's like I that's a privilege. Like we just get to hang out with cool people. Like, oh, don't mind me. I just got to Mykonos and suddenly just Quicks shows up. It's like, yeah, sure, that's our life.
A random Quicks spawn. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, sometimes I can't. I don't really realize what's happening here. But yeah, it is what it is. Look him up. Sol Quicks, the most famous fox on Solana. One of the face of Solflare, honestly, by now. Similar to how you are right now the face of Sanctum, honestly. emceeing everywhere and being the chief vibes officer. The same as Cash is the face of Jupiter. We have Quicks doing the same for Solflare. Actually, it's a interesting trend as well, right? Going on throughout Solana companies. There's always one guy that's the loudest yapper that shows up everywhere. Charismatic energy. All the good companies have it, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, and Solana ID has Simon, of course.
Of course, yeah, I gotta do it.
I mean, Simon has been doing all the interviews for Soul Brothers recently, and just like I know we'll get into the news in a second, but it's just like, man, oh man, you've been fucking killing it on the interview side. You're interviewing Solana Foundation, Mert, Cash, Jakey, Solana Sensei. I mean, and we have a very long list of other guests that would be joining the show as well. So it's just like, props to Simon for fucking obviously Dotsol. We're gonna get we had Flash Trade on. We're going to get Vidor on at some point. We're
gonna get Vidor on.
Yeah. We had Sharp's Technologies. I mean, just like we have insane access to people that like I don't even know how we have access to these people. It's fucking nuts.
I know,
but I'm just very grateful that they're willing to. No, I feel very grateful that like we're able to do this. It's a big privilege.
Now the people want to know what SIMD 0290 is. They are burning for it, So what are we looking at?
Yeah. So basically, we're going to relax the fee payer constraint, and quite simply, how it works right now is that if there's like an invalid fee payer within a block, we just reject the entire block, which is stupid, right? Like what you should really do is reject that specific transaction and let all the other valid transactions within the block pass. So this is just a very simple upgrade to block production and confirmation to where like we don't have to reject the entire block. We can just reject the specific transaction that's the issue.
Is this have you seen any negative comments around this or not? Because I haven't seen any. Is there any concerns?
No.
Yeah.
Not from what I can tell. It seems pretty. It's almost kind of like increasing the compute units, right? I think it was to like 100 million CUs or something like that. I mean, it's just like it's not very controversial at all. It's good. I think everyone is very much in alignment. So yeah, I think that's just the general consensus that people feel about SIMD 0290. I mean, like sometimes we get spicy SIMDs, but sometimes it's just kind of obvious, right? It's like yes, we should be obviously doing that now.
Exactly. I think there's two types, right, of SIMDs. Ones are the purest form of Solana improvements documents, which is this one, where there's like no side effects really, and you take it, it's like a vitamin C, nothing's going to happen. Your body's going to, feel good about it. But there's also some SIMDs that are a bit more like heavy medications that come with side effects for the whole organism. In this case, for Solana. We had a few of this in the past months as well. But I think with SIMD 0 to 90, it's just making Solana more efficient, and everyone wants that. Increasing CU is going to help the chain to run smoother, and there's going to be a lot of fucking activity and demand coming for block space on Solana in the next couple of years, and we need to be ready for that. So I am happy that we have companies like Ansa or formerly the Solana Labs in the background as well to help us basically engineer the foundation of everything we do here on Solana. So big shout out as well for the people in the shadows, really, that don't really go out a lot, but that really help us to be so smooth. But yeah, speaking of people in the shadows, we also have people in the light, which are the ones that are the loudest, which are the ones we always hear about. And Phantom is one of these. Eno, what did they just release?
Meet Phantom Cash, everybody. So Phantom has released a new stablecoin issued through a company called Bridge. Bridge famously was acquired by, I believe, Stripe, if I'm not mistaken. And so they will be issuing stablecoins for Phantom. And what makes this particular stablecoin so interesting is that it's going to integrate with existing payment providers from day one. It's going to be a very easy on and off ramp. If you're trying to do e-commerce, through like any Stripe merchant, you can use Phantom Cash. So this is a pretty killer move. They're really going hard on the also you can add a Visa or I think it's a Visa card to your Apple Pay or your Google Pay. Yeah. So like now Phantom essentially connects to your wallet, right? Like your Apple Pay wallet or your like Google Pay wallet. So I mean, what do you want me to say, man? Like, this is a pretty killer feature.
Yeah, I think when you listen to the Phantom team and the founders about the vision of the company, they're purely doing the fintech play, really, right? So they just want people to do as many banking services as possible inside of Phantom. And that's not something that is Phantom exclusive. That's a trend we see through a lot of either wallet or card issuing companies right now. Because you have the end user already, like a bank, and you can provide a full-fledged financial service offering to them if you own them, right? And the more you offer them, the more revenue streams you're going to get, the more sticky your users are, the higher the retention rates, the easier just to keep them with you, the harder the switching costs. So everything improves if you build out a feature set that is lucrative for them. So we saw Perps taking off a lot on Phantom in collaboration with Hyperliquid. That was one of the moves we saw recently. And now they're also expanding into more like a fintech feeling, right? Where you can pay friends easily to share bills. You can easily use your card to pay bills in the restaurant, which is another really straightforward kind of fintech use case that I usually do with my Revolut. So I think in the next 12 months, I think we actually banks become really obsolete for us at this moment, like the traditional banks, and these fintechs are definitely moving in that spot. And this kind of post Genius Act era that we're in right now, after stable coins are really taking off a lot these days, I think banks are definitely getting cold feet. They're getting scared a little bit because they're losing market share here, and they should. And I think they're trying hard to lobby, from what I hear, in Washington, in DC. But it's just they're just dinosaurs, like they're no one gives a shit. Like we want innovation, we want things to be faster, cheaper, and more accessible, and that is literally Solana.
Actually, I heard this really interesting panel about risk in stablecoins and the way that banks are fucking us even more. So if you think about a banking model, which is a fractional reserve model, you don't actually have all the cash on hand that people have deposited into your bank, right? You only have a fraction of it, but that's okay as long as there's not a bank run, right? And obviously the government will step in if there's a real problem. Stablecoins are better than your normal bank account because what they do is it's full collateralization. It's absolutely 100% required. You cannot have we have tried fractional reserve stablecoins and it ends up disastrously every single fucking time. Like you need to be able to, down to the last dollar, be able to withdraw your money, swap it into some other stablecoin or some other asset, right? But the thing is, now the banks are lobbying, as you said, DC, to like MiCA, for example, over in Europe, which is crypto regulation over in Europe, requires some percentage of the stablecoin reserves to be in banks, right? So think about that. You had a fully collateralized stablecoin that had like 100% backing in, like, let's say US Treasury bonds, right? But then I have to do it through the bank, and the bank runs a fucking fractional reserve. So now it's actually the bank that's introducing systematic risk into crypto and not the other way around, which is quite funny to me.
That's mostly. It is much worse than funny, honestly. It's such a you're shooting yourself in the leg, right? As a consumer, really, and as a affiliator to the bank in this case. Again, I think it's just legacy technology and traditional finance trying to not get kicked out, with like weird laws and lobbying. But I don't think it's not looking good for them, honestly, especially with the Trump administration, which is really pro stablecoins as well and pro sovereign stablecoins and giving them more authority. And that's literally what we've seen in the past months. And I think Trump has a lot of interest with his own fucking USD1 World Liberty Financial things going on to actually have stablecoins accumulate a lot of value, because he can issue a lot of government debt just by getting more liquidity into USD1, since it's just backed by government debt from US. So it's kind of a cheat code for them to get liquidity as well, for the US, which is a currency that's kind of on the decline. So lots of moving pieces here, but I think the TLDR is that banks are fucked. Stablecoins are right now on a upwards trajectory, and fintechs like Phantom, Solflare, Cast, all these companies are taking over market shares.
Right. But we have some other really cool developments, especially over in Jupiter land. So Jupiter, of course, is developing what we know as Jupnet. And so they have Bitcoin Kit, which is powered by Zeus, that is going to integrate with Jupnet. And Simon, could you tell people a little bit more about what Jupnet is?
Difficult, my friend. Very difficult. I think for this we probably need a Meow, Seong, Dean, or Nicholas on the show to properly break it down. But they're trying to. I mean, that's been the thesis for Jupiter anyway since day one. Like get as much liquidity as possible to on chain, right? And tokenize everything. That has been always the mission. And I think Jupnet is just trying to connect the dots, really, especially between chains, which is definitely a new direction that Jupiter is heading to, since they've been always Solana focused. But now with Jupnet, they're opening things up and building bridges between networks as well. Can't really dive deeper than that into Jupnet. You can add maybe some.
Actually, that's exactly what I was looking for, is that, it's kind of like an omni-chain network. It gives you a sex-like experience, but it's completely decentralized. And one of the first integrations into Jupnet is this so-called Bitcoin Kit, where the way that Solana Foundation likes to describe it is that Bitcoin is the asset, but Solana is the infrastructure. And more accurately, in this case, Bitcoin is the asset, but Jupnet is the infrastructure. So, like, that's how you're going to be able to make your asset, your Bitcoin, usable in DeFi, right? And especially interoperable with any chain, any assets. So that is absolutely cool. But aside from, I mean, like, you want to use Bitcoin in DeFi, right, Simon?
100%. And I think it is such a huge boost for the Solana ecosystem to get that liquidity, right? Especially if we get some of that stuff to Solana, into Solana DeFi. That is, like, right now we already have a lot of Wrap BTC, which is kind of a it's a good compromise. But with Zeus and Apollo and all these companies, we can actually get it more natively on Sol, which is really interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Like, you had a conversation with Gianni, and obviously Gianni Chen on the growth team of Solana Foundation does a lot of work actually with Bitcoin on Solana. So, I mean, you must be also mega bullish on. We have a literal foundation, a whole group of people that are working to make this happen.
Yeah, that's the one goal, right? She said that the foundation is it's a BD engine for the Solana ecosystem, with the pure drop of selling block space, which includes accruing liquidity as well on chain to kind of pump up these protocols that we have. And Bitcoin is one of the biggest kind of potential for liquidity inflow we have, because the capital is already in crypto. These guys are already exposed to crypto. They are open, right, to these kind of strategies. they have an asset that is not yielding any yield, just an return on investment based on price appreciation. So it's kind of a dead asset, really. If you want to, like, it's not, you can't put it to work right now, out like in the Bitcoin ecosystem. And you bring it to Solana, you put it on lending markets, you get an APY, right, directly, which is huge. And Gianni is definitely one of her big goals is to get as much Bitcoin liquidity as possible to Solana from the 3 trillion Bitcoin we have in circulation in value.
But honestly, 3 trillion is fucking peanuts. And what am I talking about, Simon? Well, we have a new bad boy on the stage. His name is KEEL. KEEL is obviously in the Sky ecosystem. So Sky, for those of you who aren't familiar, is a rebrand of MakerDAO. So MakerDAO rebranded to the Sky ecosystem, and now they've moved way beyond CDP or collateralized deposition stablecoins. Like most of people know about MakerDAO's DAI, DAI. But now they're focusing much more on, growing other DeFi products, right? And they call these DeFi products stars. So you have Spark, which is a protocol, you have Grove, which is a protocol, and now you have KEEL, which is the latest star in the Sky ecosystem. So you can almost kind of think of it as like almost in the way that Nam talks about it. It's not a real L2, but it's like a social L2 where everybody in that Sky ecosystem kind of works with each other and partners with each other to grow. And this latest initiative is called KEEL, Solana's capital engine. And the main part of this thesis that's super important is this part right here. So over the last 5 years, the market for tokenized access has grown from 57 million to 30 billion. But some folks are estimating that the market is projected to go to 20 to 30 trillion in the next 9 years, right? So that's why I said peanuts, because Bitcoin's only at 3, and now we're talking about adding more tokenized assets, more to the tune of 20 to 30 trillion over the next decade. So KEEL provides that infrastructure that makes it possible to tokenize all those assets and put it on chain.
We're all working in the same direction here, aren't we? Like it sounds a lot to me like a topic that Meow will talk about on stage, really, right? With tokenize everything and bring liquidity on chain. It's the same than what the foundation is really talking about. Everyone just looks to move global financial markets on chain. That is a very clear goal right now that we're all working towards. And we have crazy stacked teams, like literally the people from MakerDAO, which is an OG Ethereum protocol. I think probably the first company or one of the first companies really in the DeFi ecosystem that blew up. And having them now on Solana building what they say is Solana's capital engine is not just bullish for Solana. It is really, really bullish for internet capital markets.
Yeah. And we're also very good friends with Kian, who's one of the core contributors of KEEL. So we should get him on here and grill him on how he's going to bring 20 to 30 million trillion dollars onto Solana.
Let's make that happen. I actually really would like to hear some of his thoughts on these topics. 100%.
Yeah. And moving on, one of the biggest pieces of news in the year, we have the MET TGE. You know them, you love them. We thought that they were dead for just a hot minute, especially right after the Melee token rug with Kelsier Ventures and Libra. But now, finally, after much effort, we have the MET TGE this October 23rd, in 20 days. I am excited. Simon, what are your thoughts, comments?
First of all, please don't bring up these Libra talk. Like I get PTSD hearing about these things. I'm like, it's in the back of my head somewhere, buried. It feels like an eternity ago. But Meteora is finally launching their token. They've been talking about this, not officially a long time, but the community has been talking about it for a long time. And Meteora themselves, I think they started a month ago-ish to actually put it out here and tell us, yep, it's coming. You have the points system on your Meteora app right now that you can already check. There's like a lot of good posts from friends like Fabiano and Jussi on Twitter that already estimate, you know the deal, how much the token could be worth. Obviously, these are just speculations. I am carefully bullish on Meteora, on the token of MET. Why carefully? Because for now, all my gut feeling is based on exactly that gut feeling, which is Meteora is, huge player in the Solana ecosystem, make a lot of money, plugged in as fuck. They have a lot of potential to have a valuable asset. But what I don't know is any details about the token as of now. And that might be my own delusional, state of mind right now. I'm just not digging into it deep enough. Or it might be that they actually haven't announced a lot of the tokenomics, use cases, utilities, and so on about the actual asset. But I'm lacking a little bit of information regarding that. So I'd love to, understand as soon as the token is out, like how is this thing going to accrue value in the future? Why should we bullish on it? How is it distributed amongst all the stakeholders and shareholders? Some basic tokenomics, like these kind of things I'd love to dive into. Have you seen any of these information around?
So there are official tokenomics that are posted, obviously. But what I think remains to be seen, as you've said, is like what will the future utility of the MET token be? That being said, the one really cool thing about owning a world-class oh my god, is that Steve?
That is Steve.
Well, yeah,
that's what happens if you record a podcast in a house full of Solana builders. You'll have exciting people just walking in the background. Keep going.
Yeah. Well, yeah, my point is that like there's a lot of amazing mechanics that you can do as a LP, as a DLMM platform, right? Like you can stake your MET to get fees, or you could maybe you'll do like MET pairs over different tokens. I just mean that because they own the token and they own the platform and they're quite innovative and fun builders, I expect to see a lot of at least some fun plays.
That's it.
Like
Yeah.
for example, if my previous project ISC, right? Like let's say that I launched a governance token for my stablecoin. I don't really know what I would do with it. I mean, like we had some ideas, but we ultimately didn't launch it because like we didn't really have any good ideas for what we would do with the ISC governance token aside for like actual governance, and people are not actually interested in actual governance.
Good that you didn't.
Yeah.
Difficult setup. But this one, I agree. Like there's a lot of substance that can be behind it, and the team has been, it has proven themselves, right? So that is why I say my gut feeling is really positive about it. I just want to see a bit more data and actual precise thoughts on it. Again, might be my fault of not researching deep enough. So if there's people in the audience, then drop some comments and let us know what you have found about Meteora and if you are bullish on the MET token launch. Tell us the date again, to finish this topic off. When is it coming?
October 23rd, 2025 is going to be the launch of the MET token.
20 days.
MET.
In 20 days from today's recording. Awesome.
Yeah. And so next up, we have a super big announcement. This week, we had one of the biggest token launches of the year. I am, of course, talking about 2Z, which is the native token for DoubleZero. DoubleZero is building decentralized infrastructure for fiber cable networks that make it possible to, let's say that you want to run a validator in South Africa, right? Well, one of the challenges of running a validator in South Africa is that you will not be as competitive as the people in Frankfurt. You will not be as competitive as the people in Tokyo. You will not be as competitive as the people in San Francisco, right? So DoubleZero, because they're creating these custom deals with telecoms all around the world with custom fiber cables, will be able to run essentially DPIN internet where not just Solana, but any chain, any technology can build on top of it and can regulate that. They're basically building a faster internet, which is fucking nuts.
That's it. That's it. Sounds crazy, and it is crazy. But yeah, they're building a faster internet for Solana validators in the first place. And as you said, it's also important to state that when they started DoubleZero, when Austin Federa started to pitch it to funds and so on, I think he never really said that this is going to be Solana tech. No, it's just an internet next to the internet that is optimized for speed. That is basically trying to bend the rules that we currently have and push the speed towards the limits of physics and not the limits of whatever we have so far in the world. And that's why it's IBRL, right? It's increase bandwidth and reduce latency. That's what they've been preaching since a long time. And obviously, the first big use case for this is Solana improvement and network improvement. And I think if we bring a lot of validators onto DoubleZero in the next let's say 12 months, this can have really positive in kind of implications for the ecosystem, especially together with trends like, getting as many perp stacks as possible on chain, that are already right now in a big upwards trend, in my opinion, when it comes to innovation and TVLs. And these guys will have an even better time with better Solana tech, right? So things like Alpenglow, things like DoubleZero, they will help companies like FlashTrade to become even more sexy with a C,
Yeah.
and more just quicker and faster in execution, which is definitely the biggest, I think, thing that's lacking right now when it comes to on-chain trading. It is latency and speed.
Yeah. And they just had their token launch yesterday.
Yes,
The token is
exactly.
doing
So
not too bad. They received a no action letter from the SEC. It's the first of its kind. We've never had a document like this before. It's literally the SEC stating to the public that 2Z is not a security, and the usage of 2Z and the value accrual for 2Z for usage in the DoubleZero protocol is, again, does not represent a securities equity. So that's just like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
we wouldn't have get things like this with a former SEC chair and setup not too long ago. That would have been very unrealistic because they've been blocking innovation, while this is exactly doing the opposite. It is pushing innovation, and the token is, as of today, performing, not too bad, I would say. I think it actually went up to 10 million FDV yesterday, which is insane, when it started pumping. And we had volumes of $30 million in a 24-hour window, which is also really, really big. It did retrace now to a value of around 50 cents. So we're now sitting at an FTV of 5.3 billion, which is still a very high valuation, So
yeah,
I think
only 5 billion. Yeah, only 5 billion, Simon. Just 5
exactly.
billion,
Yeah, it's insane. Like, I'm just, I mean, it launched to up over 10, right? I know some of the investors that are backing DoubleZero invested at 700 mil, 500 mil, so they definitely right now are having a good time. There was a private sale as well for validators that could take part in the DC pre-sale for the token, only for people that have validators. So it was a really interesting setup for the launch. They didn't go with a pure on-chain launch, which I found, first I was a bit disappointed. I thought, hey, we like it's DZ is really like Solana native, and we need them to be as good as possible for the ecosystem. But they went to centralized exchanges and launched with them. But I understand why, because you can't get that kind of trading volume, $30 million, and a 10 billion valuation. It's just, if you really have so many people interested in your token, you need distribution and you need exchanges for that as many as possible. So I think token launch was pretty good so far. Let's see where it can go, because launching at 10 billion, you definitely have to get a lot of growth to get some multiples in, right? It's easier to go down than up from here. That's my critical kind of analysis of the situation.
Yeah. But the market opportunity for what they're building is big enough to justify such a valuation. So, like, certainly there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but I'm also not particularly concerned. It's not vaporware. We know the team personally, and the deals that they're working on right now. It's like, it's all real.
It is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. If someone can pull it off, they can.
Yes, absolutely. And the next topic that we have for the week is win up to $100,000 with Solflare card. How it works is very simple. All you got to do is, get your. It's a raffle, So 1 point equals 1 raffle ticket. Just that simple. Connect your wallet. Connect your email is 1 point. Pass KYC, 100 points. Refer a friend, that's another 50 points. I feel like we should get on this, Simon.
Oh yeah, we will. So yeah, guys, if you want to take part in this, check the show notes for your ref link, and make sure to head over to Solflare. Use the Sol Brothers ref link to support the show, and you will be able to take part in this raffle. What is up for grabs?
Yeah, what's up for grabs is $100,000, my friends. So the top 20 participants will get, $50,000. They'll share $50,000, and then there's going to be another raffle. So this isn't even a raffle. It's just like the top 20 people by points, right? And the raffle is, 355 winners of 50K, and we have different tranches, right? So the first tranche is 5K, the second is 2, down to 1,000, and then 250 and 50. There's like half of that money is going to be used for a raffle, and half of that money is just going to be competition between people who can get the most points.
If you're getting the first place in this competition, this is going to be the most worthwhile crypto card you're spending your time on, because you're going to win more than $10,000 for signing up to Solflare crypto card. And while this is like really exciting, I think what's also really exciting is the pure fact that the card is coming, and we will soon have a debit card, a crypto debit card, directly attached to your Solflare wallet, where you will be able to spend out of your wallet in a non-custodial fashion without ever sending your funds on any kind of custodian. You will be able to spend and just buy yourself a coffee straight from crypto.
I love that. I want to start spending my money on chain, off chain. And the next piece of news are from our friends over in SNS. The SNS token is now live on Byreal. I had the opportunity to meet the CEO of Byreal over, this week. Her name is Emily. She is very, very nice. And essentially, SNS USDC is live. So congratulations to the SNS team for getting their token onto Byreal. Great distribution.
It's amazing. I mean, the Bybit DEX basically has been around for a while now, and now they attract projects like SNS to bring their liquidity to Byreal, and this also helps people that are trading on Byreal to have access to the token. I think it's generally pretty good move. No downside risk really connected to it. Byreal is a great company. They have a pretty solid setup, and they have some reach and distribution, as you say, and there's some co-marketing going on right now. So definitely very positive for SNS and its token.
Yeah. And moving on, of course, to our friends over at Flash Trade, they've had another record-breaking month. I mean, bro, $790 million in volume, which means just about $500,000 in fees earned. A lion's share of that, actually a vast majority of it, over 400K, was shared to LPs, and also stakers of FAF got to eat as well. And last but not least, we have some protocol revenue, right? So about 118K. So the total amount of FAF staked continues to grow. This is all phenomenal news. The metrics for Flash Trade are doing better and better every single month.
Almost $60,000 were paid out to FAF stakers last month. And I think FAF token right now, let me see, I think we have around maybe 1,000 holders or something. So yeah, 1,100 holders. So it's not, it could be more, like there could be more holders. That means the revenue is being distributed, in a quite small round of people. So the $60,000 are actually, they're pretty meaningful for a lot of people. There's a lot of people in the community right now, including myself, that make easily a couple $100 every month just on their FAF stake with the rev share.
I actually really love these monthly graphics, and I feel like more teams should do this. This is just super smart because you get all the relevant stats that you want to know about the protocol, and you can see line by line literally all the things. They're keeping themselves accountable. They're like, these are the things that we've done with new features, integrations. These are the fixes that we've done. Here's what's next. I mean, like, this is how it's supposed to be done, guys. Like, people scream all the time, like, oh my God, show me the roadmap. Like, why is this project legitimate? Like, are they doing anything for FAF? It's like, bro, it's all here. Just look.
Yeah, it's like a monthly shareholder report almost that is going out on Twitter for everyone. Yeah. Token holder, non-token holder, you can check it out. And yeah, we have these protocols, and all of us, we have on-chain assets. We're kind of public companies, if you want to say so. And I think we do owe it to the community to be as transparent as possible. And Flash is a very good example of how to do it. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. So congratulations to the Flash Trade team for an absolutely blockbuster month, and I hope that October will also be very kind to you. And last but not least, we have one last subject that we would like to cover, Simon, which is the final deadline for the decision on the Solana Spot ETFs is only 12 days away. So last week we were talking about how even on Monday, we were talking about how we could see an ETF approved anytime in the next 2 weeks. And that is just fast approaching. We just want to remind people that there's, I think, 4 different ETF filings for Sol in the United States. And we could see that happen at any moment in time.
There's bullish news. I mean, just remember, I don't know if do you remember the time when we had the Bitcoin ETF? It's been a while. I can't even tell you when it was, but do you remember that period of time and the mind share this topic had? It was everywhere, right? Like I was talking about. Am I the only one who feels like this is kind of underrated right now? This whole topic, is it because it took so long for this to come, and we're kind of, yeah? Is it like everyone knows it's coming, so it's maybe less exciting right now? But I feel like it's not. We should talk more about the ETFs. Like there's so much liquidity that can come once these things are really live. Into it's a lot of buying pressure, isn't it? Like I think it's a huge thing.
It's huge. It's huge. We're not talking about it enough. Okay, Simon, I really appreciate your time. We said we were going to keep it short, but we ended up talking it for an hour. Dude, we legitimately, like, trust me, Simon and I would love for these to be 30 minutes, but we can't. And the reason why we can't, and even though that we're doing this content even more on Mondays and Thursdays, is there's so much fucking shit going on, bro. What the hell?
It's crypto, bro. Right now it's crypto. It's Q4. Everyone is pushing. Everyone is launching shit. It is crazy. So, yeah, guys, this means you need to stay up to date on these things, and the best place to get the latest and greatest is on Sol Brothers. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube account, interact with our posts as well. It helps us to grow. If you leave some comments, leave a like, and a subscribe. So do that, especially on YouTube, since we're really trying to ship high quality content over there, long forms and short forms as well. And make sure to check out our Twitter, where we are a bit more degen. And you can get all the updates right there as well, and the links to the YouTube videos. So thank you so much for tuning in for yet another Sol Brothers episode, and we will see you at the next one. You have a good rest of your day or week. See ya.
See ya. Bye.